I learned that you can extract the best out of a spice without actually blending it in the sauce. And it had never struck me before I went to college that one could do that. And it's such a beautiful way of controlling the spiciness of the sauce, which means you can have the flavor, but you don't necessarily need to have the heat, unless you really want to. For butter chicken, you just want the flavor and the aroma. You don't want it to become some shabby version of butter chicken, the one they make in London. So bay leaves, cinnamon, mace or jaggery as we call it, big cardamom, small cardamom, peppercorns. You put all of that in here in the bouquet and we're going to add this lovely bouquet to our pot. So what's going to happen is when this gravy simmers for hours, the smell and the aroma of these spices is going to go into the curry or into the gravy in this case. And you can apply this for any dish that you make at home. But tomatoes are beautiful like that. They take on to that flavor very nicely without making it too spicy. So I always feel like butter chicken has always lacked some depth because it is, to give some credit to the British, it is sort of like a true marriage, which meant when they were ruling India, they wanted to eat Indian food but not as spicy and hot. So what they did was essentially, and it only makes sense when you look at history of India in Indian cooking. And butter chicken is a creation of that essence, which means they took an Indian sauce and added a lot of cream and butter to it, which is what French cuisine is all about. And hence that became a thing for Indian restaurants, that we add cream and butter to everything possible because everything suddenly becomes tasty. The ratio is mentioned in your recipe sheet. As I said, we are not hiding anything today. We are giving away everything. We're going to add some coriander powder. Thank God that was garam masala. This lighting can take that away. Some coriander, some chili, salt, methi, cashews, garlic, onion, tomato. Everything is gone in. I hope I've not missed out anything. But I still like to follow my recipe. That hot kitchens are very different from, but when you're running a restaurant or a chain in this case, you have to measure everything. And that's one thing I learned in MasterChef as well. The first recipe sheet that I had sent for MasterChef Australia's pressure test was a 1.5-page recipe, to which they said contestants will not, like, if you're saying to taste, but how much salt is it really? We don't know what kind of salt measure do you prefer versus what the contestants do, or into an oven that's really hot. I would prefer to cook it on slightly milder temperatures. However, the leg is reverse. If you seal it quickly on high temperature, it becomes more tender and juicy after you cook it on high temperature. So it gets sealed and then it cooks in its own juices. And that's why we only use leg bones for butter chicken. I would not recommend any other way around. For vegetarians,